Never plan B, sticking to your memory.
Are you ready?
No, we're not swag, play around on you. People know you fucking chillin' and you got it. You always get the plan A, 'cause I'm a mission like the dust. Never plan B, sticking to your memory, and this is where we be.
Music gets me every time, baby. Rhythm is going to get you. That's what the song says. It's true. The rhythm is going to get you. Welcome to the next episode. The good news is, you know full well, it's not just me. We got the big dog here again tonight. Hello, mate.
You all right?
Did the rhythm get you as well then, mate? Did it get you?
I was just breakdancing, actually. I'm glad you cut away because it was a little. I was upside down on lino, but yeah, it's all right. I'm okay now.
Yeah, well, I could tell. It's all sorted. It's fine. We're there. We're focused. I have to say as well, and you probably can't. I don't know how much you're able to see. Thank you all for piling in. As soon as we went live, the numbers were up. Welcome to the show. Because everybody knows it means we're getting near to a race weekend, and this one is a beauty. Cadwell Park, the Mini-Nürburgring.
Yeah, it was. We don't go there every year, and we thought we should get it back on the calendar for 2024. And it turns out it was the right thing to do. Because last time we went there, we went back to back years, and it wasn't quite right. It's the biggest meeting we've ever had there this weekend. So wow. Yeah, amazing.
I genuinely can't wait. Obviously, I'm part of the commentary team again this weekend, and I'll be in the main box for both days by the sounds of it. And I cannot wait to see your cars going round the Cadwell Park Circuit. I mean, it must be you're racing, and I have no experience of this, but it must be an epic circuit to race.
I love it. I do love it. It's great. It's tight, very tight. It's certainly a circuit to do well in qualifying, that's for sure. But yeah, it's great, and you feel like I don't know, some circuits you go out and it's a little bit. How can I put it? You almost have time to think, whereas around there you don't really. You're just on it all the way around, and it's brilliant. I absolutely love it, and I'm so pleased with the amount of people that are coming this weekend. It really is a testament to where the club is at the moment.
Do you get air over the mountain?
Yeah, and I normally wave as well as I go past the commentary park. So, no, like the old Capri, it lifts about that much off the ground, and I go to whack my Dixie horn, but it doesn't. But no, yeah, you don't. Yeah, you hear the engine the engine note changes as you go over the top. It's great. I love is it the Hall Bend? It's Hall Bend, isn't it? As you go past the cafe. Yeah. I love that bit because you just feel like you're going to crash, and you just sort of stop on your nose to do the sharp right-hander and go put down through Barn and then back onto the start-finish straight. For me, that's my favourite section of the circuit. I know a lot of people like it out the back, but for me, that's always been just try and get behind somebody tight under there, and you get a run on them on the straight, I love it. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a bit of a slap to get up there, as it is with all the great circuits. Especially when I live 15 minutes from Brands Hatch. But as I drive past Brands Hatch on the way to Louth, but it's worth it when you get there. And as I say, we don't go every year, so it's a bit of a treat.
It is beautiful. It is a beautiful circuit to look at, nice. As in the whole surround, isn't it? And the undulation. I mean, it's beyond undulation, isn't it? Let's call it what it is. It's mountainous.
It is. Yeah. I must admit, when you go out the back and it drops down, you think, oh, why have I got such a big sun strip? Because you can't see. Yeah. You've got to look like this to try and try and see in front of you. But yeah, you know, just a cracking circuit, and just a great turnout of cars, and there'll be some amazing races. There'll be some, you know, we've got 4 grids there this weekend. All grids are either at capacity or close to capacity.
Wow.
And you know, that's some of the people are going to be like, I'd assume, because they've extended. I think it was after COVID they increased the grid size there. I think they put like 8 cars on it or so. It's quite a lot.
Wow.
And so you start on the hill coming out of barn, so you're sitting there with your foot on the brake basically to start. I think I'm never that far back, you know, but I'm told, you know. But no, seriously, I think you're going to be. You must be on the slope. The amount of, as I say, you look at Thunder, you know, Nick's done a great job of getting. I think he's got 24 cars out there at the moment. I had a couple of phone calls today, people trying to get some last minute stuff. You know, pre-66, I think they had 30 cars. Pat Keneally pulled out last night, actually, because he's got some problems with his engine. And that was the car that dropped out. You know, 30 pre-66 cars around there. You know, I remember going there. I was chatting to Colin about it the other day. I remember years ago, Bart going around and taking 50 quids off of people because they didn't have they just didn't have the race calendar wasn't full up, so they just said this all comers race and put some money in the hat because they didn't have enough cars, and now we're bursting at the seams. So it just goes to show how far the cars the clubs come, really.
Yeah, I mean, we're over 100, aren't we? We're taking over 100 up there. I say we. Yeah. I'm taking some of the credit there. I don't know why I said we. You're taking over 100.
You're part of the family now, aren't you? You're part,
I know.
Like,
I just felt I was getting. I felt I was getting. I'm like that one from the Adams family, aren't I?
No, but it's nice.
I've got the hair for it.
You've got it all going on. You come to visit us at Donington, didn't you? We had a bit of a laugh in the garages.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's nice how it is now. You know, I think certainly on the racing side of things, the way Colin's put together a team. You know, you've always got Andrew with us, so we know the Clarks. Obviously, we've got Matthew and Ronnie with looking after the scrutineering. You know, so it's a nice team. Everyone works together. Steve Jackman always doing the pictures. Michael, my father-in-law, does the pictures. Well, you know, there's so many people around it. Mark Paulson doing the auto sport stuff. It's his whole sort of moving circus now. It's took us a long time to get to this point, but it sort of works. So it's quite nice where we all just sort of move along and know our jobs and know what we need to do. Even your good self, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, sadly, I'm not with you all the time this year. I think this one and Super Tourers and hopefully the awards with you guys at the end. But I'm like so excited because the atmosphere at Donington was cool. It was just so nice. You know, it was amazing racing to commentate on, because I always make the comment that we just read the story that's being written for us on the circuit, and sometimes we have to work quite hard to make it.
You have to make it happen so long,
And for you guys, it's like, no, this was just epic. Whether you were drooling over the cars, whether it was the close racing, whether it was the subplots, whether I made up subplots or whatever, you know, it was that it was there. It was the fun, and it was brilliant. And then to speak to you all down in the garages or in the paddock and all of that, and it's just so friendly, and I really do enjoy that, because I get to see a mix everywhere, and so, you know, I've got a frame of reference, so it was lovely to see that. Talking of which, by the way, apologies people, I've not been ignoring you, is that Kevin Denwood was straight in with the first comment. Evening all, says Kevin. Evening, Kevin.
He did his form an hour ago for Super Tourer Powers. There you go. Thank you, Kevin.
Good man, good man. Then it suddenly kind of went off-piste, and they were talking with each other, because Adam Jordan Reed says, hi, Kev, and then Kevin says, hi, mate. It's focus, guys, focus. We're on a show. Focus. Clive Hainsford says, evening.
Evening, Clive.
Evening, Clive. Good to hear from you. Jamie Peters Ennis, evening to you, mate. Good to hear from you. And Craig Owen, good evening, sir. I know that was an unfortunate Donington for you guys, wasn't it? Which is a real shame, but it was great to see you guys out there anyway, and hopefully see you later at some point this season when I'm with you. But welcome everybody. Don't forget, put your comments, put your questions. We'll be able to put them up on screen. It's great to see everybody there with us. So Cadwell this weekend. Well, let's go back to Donington Park. From my perspective, it looked like a really successful race meeting.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a nice way to start the season. I think we all got away with it slightly with the weather. I think it was it felt a bit too early to start. I have to be honest. It was a bit cold, wasn't it? But no, it was nice. It was nice just to see everybody and just to catch up. You know, it's there's a different vibe when you're at a race circuit than when you're on. You know, people ring me all. You know, we speak all year to people on the phone. Everyone's always excited about race meetings, but actually being there, just having a chat with people and just seeing old friends, you know, it's just nice. And even Jason Hughes bought me a beer, which was wonderful, which was nice to see. So I was standing up at the time, but I had to sit down. But yeah, it was not, but it was nice, like going in the cafe bit and seeing people and sitting with people and having a chat, and you know, whilst they're all sitting having their food and just having a shake hands and catching up. And Cadwell, I think, is going to have that. I certainly hope that certainly the next two meetings will have the sort of clubby vibe that sometimes I feel like we miss, where you know we're all sort of kind of camping at Cadwell or parked out on the grass or whatever we're doing, and you get to sort of sit and chat with friends and just sort of shoot the breeze, which is kind of, for me, is half of the reason I do it, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we kind of made that quite clear. It was a little bit early in the year to be out barbecuing, wasn't it? But I'll be honest and say it was still giving it the all. The atmosphere was there. I mean, I've got to say again, thank you to James Dunkley and Ames for a beautiful bacon sandwich on the Saturday.
They still had got one. Just went past me and gave it to you. I thought, well, you know.
I will tell you this: it was lovely, mate. It was glorious. And I love this. Nick Vaughan has also said the crazy carts at Donny were amazing fun as well. We obviously had the launch of a touring car being sponsored by them, didn't we? And that was wicked. That looked fun.
That was good. It was a funny one, that one, because he contacted us and asked to launch it. And I had no idea about any of it, to be perfectly honest with you. But it kind of all worked all right and got with everybody. It was so busy before a race meeting. Before the first race meeting of the year, it's chaos, right? It's everyone's running around everywhere. And the chap wanted to a name for kids. It's Nick. Was it Nick? I forget his name now. That's his car. It was Nick's, isn't it? And Halstead, Nick Halstead. Halstead. Yeah. And he wanted to launch the car. There was a Super Taurus there and all the bits and bobs. Obviously, you had you know, some drivers there and all the rest of it. But I just kind of said, look, you can do it, that's fine, but you just got to get on with it yourself. And then I completely forgot to tell anybody about it.
They found it all right.
I've seen enough videos. People seemed happy enough. Everybody met Paul O'Neill and all the rest of it, didn't they? So they all seemed happy. And yeah, it was nice. It was great.
There was a good few people there, like Rick Parfitt Jr. was there as well.
Yeah, I saw him floating about, actually.
Yeah, I think it is his local circuit, to be fair, because he was there at this weekend as well. Because his ex-teammate, the two of them that won the British GT Championship, Seb Morris, was up there racing this weekend in GT Cup, and so he was up there again there. And there was a few others that were in the touring cars that were there. And I've seen enough videos of your guys out there on those crazy carts. So no wonder.
He looked like he's having fun, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So there was plenty of it going on. Adam Wood says, evening, guys. Good evening to you, Adam.
Good evening, Adam. He signed up for Super Tour of Power. And he's
good man.
Yeah.
Good. MJ says, evening, gents. Looking forward to Cadwell. New livery on the Mark 1 Golf. Let's hope it can last 45 minutes without mechanicals.
That's Malcolm Jeffs. Hello, Malcolm.
Fine. That was it. Of course, as soon as you said it, I knew it was. I was trying to remember.
It's because you've seen the weather forecast and it's all about front-wheel drive this weekend, to be honest with you, because you should be taking your umbrella with you.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I haven't seen that, which I won't put this up for long because the team name's dodgy, but hopefully raining, says somebody there.
It's Anton. That was Anton Martin. Hello, Anton.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So, yes, there's a few doing the rain dance, and annoyingly, it sounds like they're winning. Sandblaster, good evening, mate, to you. He said, evening, big dog and dancing Dawesy. So that's the new one now, isn't it?
There you go.
I've got one as well. Lynn, hi Lynn. Good evening to you both, Lynn Bates. Then there's Forenza Man. Looking forward to Classic Thunder in the old Transpeed Forenza. Better put some air in the wets. It
Yeah.
is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll put some more in the wet.
And yeah, MJ's gone damn right about the wet, so they're looking forward to the wet weather. That's going to make it challenging. I'll be tucked in my box for as much of it as I can then. But Cadwell Park then, 102 cars, I think, was the last count that I had.
Oh, is that where we are?
I think it was something along those lines, but we know that might sort of fluctuate up and down. Are you guys testing?
I don't know if there is testing. I don't ever test. I see it as wearing the car out. So I'm too tight, so I don't.
and it's wearing the big dog out.
I don't get much holiday, if I'm honest. So I don't really do it. But if there is, I'm not sure. But I'm assuming there is. There always is before an MSVR meeting, isn't there? So I'm not sure. When are you getting there?
I'm driving. I got a hotel in Horncastle that I'm staying at Friday, Saturday night. So I'm driving up Friday afternoon just to get to the hotel. So I'm near enough, ready for bright and breezy Saturday morning.
Should we have a look at the final?
Yes, just quickly put up. Nick said Cadwell is an absolute bucket list track to race on. It's going to be incredible. I'd agree. That's what I generally hear from people. It's a bucket list track.
Yeah, I love it. I do love it. It absolutely it is it's full on. It is full on, but I love it. It's it's something special, that's for sure.
Agreed.
Especially in a Capri in the wet.
Oh yeah, no challenge, mate. No challenge. Right, let's add up a couple of bits and pieces. Right, the first things first is that we've got the timetable up, so we'll just quickly do that first and foremost. Is that although obviously the qualifying's all in the morning on the Saturday, is that the Thunders are the first post-lunch race, the first of your races to get underway. Then it's the pre-93s, the pre-03s and the Boss that are together. And then the pre-83s is the third of your races. Kind of nicely sandwiched in the middle there, aren't they, really?
Yeah, I must admit, I wish it could have been a bit earlier. The problem is the program's so busy that we kind of have to. There is a lot of compromise, as you well know, with these timetables. It's not too bad. You know, we're all staying there for 2 days anyway, so the later in the afternoon doesn't really matter. It's when you're like the last race or something, it gets a bit fruity because if you're going close to curfew or whatever, then you know full well that you bump to the next day or something. So it's not so cool. But yeah, we've got that, and 66 are running. They're qualifying on a Saturday and then running twice on Sunday, which is ideal. But again, it's kind of just a bit of compromise there with Bark, sadly. But there's a lot of their championships a one-day event at championships, it's not. I wasn't. I don't think any of us were particularly pleased about it, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. And we finish up. I mean, the last race of the day is what 4. Oh, you finish at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Sunday, and then you can poot alone.
Well, you can. I'll still be there till gone 6, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're at work. I'm not at work.
Fair comment. I'm just still loving your description of the fact that it gets a bit fruity.
It does. It gets fruity, doesn't it? So yeah.
That just sums it up for me. Question from Sam Blaster. He says, "Is there a live stream?"
No, there's not. And the reason for that is that normally we lose money going to Cadwell. It's never very well supported, and I have to tell a quick story about this. Sonia and I were at chatting to a marshal. In fact, Sonia had chatted to a marshal and then called me over at Croft and told the story about the who's the people that Jamie looks after, the VW Beetle racing thing. I forgot what it's called now. Fun Cup. Fun Cup had a genius idea of making their points round at Croft double points to attract people, and they had full grids. So we went, all right, we'll do that. So we did this, and wasn't really sure if it was going to work, and it has, because so many people are going there, and it's busiest we've ever had it, really. I mean, I think the biggest before that was sort of 80, 90 cars. So that's why it's double points, and that's where double points came from, which is good because we'll all get to have a good race weekend and have good fun. But going back to what I was saying, yeah, it's I completely lost my train of thought after telling that bit of the story.
I have that effect on people.
I've gone into a vortex. Yeah, that's where we are. That's where we
That's
are.
fine.
That's why we've got double points.
So now that means you forced on me. Sandblaster's going to have to FaceTime me. That's what he said.
Yes, it's basically, yeah. So that's going back. Sorry, going back. The reason is we normally lose a load of money, and I thought we won't have the live stream because it's not cheap.
No.
And so we cut the live stream because all clubs have to buy into it. It's not just we all put money in the hat, and so everybody on that timetable has to buy into it. And that's why we don't have a live stream. Is because I thought we'd lose money, and we cut back on the live stream. Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, it's a real mixed bag that's there, isn't it? I mean, we got the classic minis, we got the 2 CVs, we got the supercars, which of course are bonkers, and we're with you at Donington Park. As with the minis, obviously, as well. It's great to see we got the OT Publishing Coupe Cup. I love them. They're great entertainment, a great bunch. I commentated on their sim racing off-season championship that they put on as well, and that was good fun doing that. I found that there's a future in commentating while drinking gin. Who knew?
Who would have thought,
eh? Who knew?
You could do it. I bet you did laying down as well, didn't you? Just with like a little loopy straw.
I'm semi-pro, mate. I was still sat. I'm semi-pro. I was sat, but I was drinking the gin whilst commentating. There's a future in that. Adam Wood says you should put in-car cams for SD2 like back in the day. That would be awesome.
They had, so we are going to try and do something with Super Tourer Power 2. We do normally have onboard cameras in the cars anyway. So yeah, we'll probably try and do something, but I'll get to that when I get to it. As I said to you before that, I just had for those people that get my emails, we've just had such a crazy week with Super Tourer Power 2, Cadwell, Croft, all's well. The Croft meeting, the emails have gone out this week, and obviously there's a Mallory one to come as well. So we'll talk about that in the end. But yeah, just I think it'll be an awesome meeting. It's a nice place to go, and just if you want to see the racing, come along and see us.
No, absolutely, and we will discuss about things that are upcoming as well, like Mallory and Brands as well. But as you requested, in terms of finals, is there anything that you want to draw attention to first on the finals before we get to the briefing? Is there anything?
No, there's nothing to do. We've got Paddock. When are they going to let us in? I haven't even looked at this. So there you go. Look, stop. Paddock is at 1900 hour. Vacate the Paddock. Coupe Cup. Coupe Cup need to leave. That's not us. The teams that are testing need to chip off by that time on a Friday. Competitors arrive. Time will be held in the tarmac area. So they're going to hold you till 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
I don't think that's probably the case, but I have to advise you that that's what's going to happen. Start your scooters and stuff, because it just causes havoc for the rest of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And put your vehicle passes in. Make sure that you do sign on before you get to the race meeting, because you're going to spend Saturday morning trying to do it on your phone, which is not good for you. Did he come back? One thing I do want to talk about was the SD cards in the cameras need to be cleared down. There was an issue at Donington, I believe, where people's SD cards were getting full up. And we need to highlight that, please, just because it's not really acceptable.
And I noticed, I can't remember where it was, that there we go. No scrutiny reports were received for missing cameras. A query was raised about whether cameras were required to be working for qualifying. The answer is yes, they are required to be working for qualifying as well. Absolutely. So that was one thing that came up, is that they have to. In order to aid the use of camera footage, please focus on the following improvement areas. Correctly setting of date and time. This is required to aid the identification of relevant footage. So please do that. Don't just throw it on and it's not set. Please ensure it's carried out before your next meeting. Clearing historic videos, like you said. Have a clean card for each meeting. Ensure the camera is set to record the right way up. Is that you?
I'm always upside down.
Yeah. and ensure you know how to remove the SD card from your camera. So
do you know what? Right, it sounds ridiculous, but sometimes you don't know. Like my father-in-law always does the cameras for me. Like he's always done it. He's good with that sort of thing. He's always good on the apples. Yeah, I must admit, I had my camera, and I was like, "How do I work this thing?" Like I just hadn't ever had to do it myself. It sounds ridiculous, but you should familiarise yourself with your own camera.
absolutely, because it's not just. I mean, they kind of came about with people loving capturing their footage, but it's like actually it is now to the stage where you need to think of it from an official perspective, don't you?
It's quite, yeah, it is, and that's why we wanted the cars in there, right? You know, you've got two guys or ladies arguing with each other about who hit who or whatever. And sometimes, you know, well, we've had situations in the past. I think someone was had a jump start and was convinced he didn't jump the start, and then watched the camera and did. You know, it just sometimes when you're in the race car and you're just fully on it, you're not. Sometimes things happen. It all happens so quickly that you think something happened, and you look back at the camera footage and you think, "Oh, hang on a minute, what was the hell was?" You know, so that's why this. You know, even in you know, it's just it just all happens so quickly, especially in an incident or something. So that's why we want them in the cars. It's for driver safety. It's not because it's for our own good. It's to help drivers and protect them from themselves and others, to be honest.
No, agreed, and it is looked at, and then because you need to be able to have it from both perspectives. If there's an incident that needs to be looked at, so you know it does make sense to do that. Briefings in terms of that side of things. What did I see that the story is with that?
The briefings was an interesting one actually, because I'm not sure. Let me just have a quick look. There was a conversation I had with Colin about this, which was, has he pinged us over about briefings? Please note, mandatory face-to-face brief. Right, here we go. Oh, please note there is a single mandatory face-to-face briefing at 8:15 on Saturday morning. It's for the following: novice drivers, new drivers to the CTCRC in 2024, drivers who have not previously raced at Cadwell Park, other drivers to rely on finals and briefing notes. So let me just see where he's doing that. I assume because there was a conversation that Colin and I had, because
there we go.
Andrew had not said where to do it. There you go.
Outside the paddock, beside the scrutineering bay.
There you go. That's where you got to do it at 8:15 to familiarise yourself with Cadwell Park.
You would assume that the likelihood is, with that being one of the ones there. I mean, I know that will suddenly mean, oh, we don't have to do it, we don't have to do it, we don't have to do it. But that, I would imagine there's a fair few people that will capture. That says, make sure you're there, 8:15, outside the paddock office beside the scrutineering bay. So that's fair. So make sure you get there for that one as well. I've just noticed as well that there was a part in there that said, we were talking about the cameras in the car. You're not allowed to wear cameras on helmets and things like that. No, and mobile phones and tablets. It's unbelievable that that's got to be in there officially, isn't it? But you never know.
People, there is some stories.
I can imagine.
Well, look, I mean, at the end of the day, right? You know, you've got a mobile phone; it will record. If you can bolt that to your dashboard, people have done all sorts of things. We've had people with helmet cameras, and you just, you know, that's why it's all in there. That's why if it's in there, it means something's happened in the past. So.
Exactly. So in terms of the entries, just quickly whipping through this, with the withdrawal you talked about, we're down to 29, but we still got a great mix of people in the pre-66s. I'm not going to pick out names because I get accused of favoritism if I start doing that. Pre-83s, we got a good gaggle of this. The only thing I get is that it just sort of says the names, whereas later we'll get the one that will have their cars that they're in. A couple that are sharing as well. There's like some dodgy geezer racing there. Look. You let all the riffraff in, don't you?
I do let them all in, yeah. Like I even did the nice thing and changed my number as well, because someone else was 44.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm doing boss as well, and someone else is 44 on that grid. So, in fact, even Bauer was 44 on that grid. So I just put a 1 in front because it's easier if I do it.
Fair dues, mate.
This weekend.
Good to see Stuart Caie, the defending champion for the pre-93s, is back out because he wasn't sure whether he was doing the full year. Pre-03s. Is Don back? Because I know he was missing.
Yeah, and that's quite nice. You know, there's been a lot of interest around pre-03 actually the last couple of months. So it's quite good to see them numbers start going back up again. It sort of dropped down a little bit. So no, I'm really pleased with everything on pre-03 at the moment.
That's good. Anton, we heard from him earlier as well. Oh, Joe Dorrington's out racing as well. That's cool.
Sure.
Vic Hope, good to see Vic out there as well. What's this one that by the way, we also had Nash Racing says evening all, evening to you, sir. And Nick says great to see Jim Janicki back in the Thunder in the Skyline.
It is indeed. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second.
I was going to say I haven't even got to that bit yet. Easy, Tiger. Forenza Man says also good idea to reformat SD card in camera to encourage reliable recording. So there you go. That's some good advice.
Yeah.
Actually, don't just delete it, but reformat it so it's ready, so you get good as well. Kevin Swan says what was out?
Oh yeah, that was it. So Kevin pinged me. Let me see what he says. So Kevin, basically, Bark put the wrong finals on the Bark website, and those eagle-eyed people that would have noticed that it was actually referring to Britcar.
Okay.
At Netterton, which said we'll only scrutineer a couple of cars, blah 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 blah, and which isn't our format. So let me just have a quick look. Got for scrutineering. Colin, if he knows, you can give me a text because I don't actually know what it's agreed, but we'll find something. There we go. Light panels. I don't know. It's in the finals. They should be on the website tomorrow. In fact, they should have been on there today, but they'll be on there tomorrow. Drivers' briefings were discussed at 8:15, as Sonia pointed out to me a moment ago. It's just that one-off thing. Scrutineering. Here we go. All classes, all cars that did not compete at Donington or brands in what? All cars did not brands or March. Brands in March. Hang on a minute. Let me find what actually refers to us. I'll have to find out. I'm going to have to update it because it doesn't say, does it? Oh, here we go. Look. Hang on. Sorry, I'm being a complete and utter rude word.
Which page do you want me to go to?
Go to page. So it's 1.6. So go back up.
Oh, yeah.
Up you go, and it's got the scrutineering times there, right in front of you. Boom.
Yeah. Okay.
There you are. Sorry. There you go, Kevin. Sorry. I just caught me out there, but I hadn't actually read it all, to be honest with you. Andrew sent it over to me. I'm winging it as usual. So there are scrutineering times.
Okay.
And that's it. We're all being scrutineered. You go through the scrutineering bay, which is very obvious because it's the only shelter you've got in the entire paddock, other than the pub. Other than the pub and the cabin. I'm sure it's still the porter cabin, right? Which is race control. Yes, that's what we are. Look, Collins just texted me. Look, he likes watching me, really. Anyways, look, full scrutineering is what he said. He didn't swear as well. Right?
So there you go, Kevin Swan. There's the answer. It is full scrutineering, mate.
And Ronnie's watching it as well. And Ronnie said 100%. So there you go, look.
Thank you, lads. Well done, lads. Jump into our aid there. I appreciate that, guys.
There you go.
And greetings to you both, by the way, as well. Neil Ashcroft, gutted I can't make pre-03 this weekend. Good hunting to everyone. So thank you, mate. And gutted you won't be there as well, mate. Definitely gutted. Let me just go back to this. So, boss, Sam Daffin, I mean, he had a fairly torrid time at Donington, didn't he, still?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's on, I think, on engine number 15 at the moment. So
yeah, I don't think it was engine, was it? Was it? I didn't think it was.
I couldn't remember what it was at that time. But he's rebalance his prop. I think was one of the problems he had. Yeah,
bless him.
So I'm going out in Boss as well. It's good to see Robert Taylor's
just noticed that. Are you in the Capri in both then? Are you?
Yeah, I just want to do, because we don't go there that often, I just want to do both championships, to be honest with you.
Sweet. I love it. I was a bit worried with, just talking about Sam Daffin, is I saw that he's selling his truck, and I was worried that mean he'd like thrown in the white flag, but clearly he hasn't. He's just getting a new truck, is he?
I think so, yeah.
That's all right then.
He's not flying. He's not plugging any flag. He's on the committee now.
I didn't think he would do, but I just always worry about that. Right, now we're on Thunder, and Nick's going on about this. There we go. James Janicki. That is good to see him back out there in the skyline. Also, Nick has said Jimmy is back in Minty. Does that make sense to you? No. I don't know whether that's. I know we've got, for example, Jimmy Broadbent is back out in his Mazda that is like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Oh, right. Okay, that thing. Yes.
I don't know if that's what he's referring to, but I didn't know it's called Minty.
What he's referring to. Yeah.
There we go. Yes, it is. Minty is the 700 brake horsepower MX-5. Thanks, Nick. Apologies, mate. I didn't know that. But yes, that is bonkers, although he didn't have it his own way. But he also said Josh has bolted his head down properly and going back on the dyno Friday. Big Chief Wilson has entered. It's going to be spicy. So he says spicy, you say fruity.
Yeah.
I love it. And of course, speak of the devil that's getting excited about everyone else. Nick's out there in that obscenely powerful Audi A3, exactly, of course. Yeah. I mean, those Thunders, they look brilliant.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting race that. Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of fast cars out there and a lot of fast drivers that I think. You got to look at Wilson and Robinson. The amount of times they've been round Cadwell over the years.
But surely those big cars are not going to be suited to Cadwell.
They're fast cars. They're fast. They're very fast cars in everything they do. So, be interesting to see. To be honest, is everyone. You wouldn't want to call that one. You wouldn't want to call it at all.
And Clive, who was on earlier at the beginning of the show as well, good to see that he'll be back out there as well. Yeah, it's just one of those ones is that you sort of think, wow, it's going to be amazing to see those big ones. Talk of the devil. Here's Clive. Cameras have a purpose. Did Coombe Easter Monday. One of the guys complained that he bumped someone from behind, then overtook. No, I was never actually behind the guy, and having a card proved it. Had there been no card, it would have been a he said, she said. That's true. So they thought it was him, and it turned out it wasn't him, and blah, blah, blah. And you were able to prove that. It's the same as you've got. We had instances over the last weekend or two where it was like they were going to get done for overtaking under a yellow flag.
Yeah.
And they were able to show the onboard going, no, seriously, I never saw it because there was this whole gaggle of cars on the inside that absolutely blocked it. And they were able to show that on board. And it was just a verbal warning. So the cards are vital to protect you as well. So definitely get them out there. So, I mean, that's the entry list, Big Dog. It looks exciting, that one.
Very fruity. I think the Thunder race... Thunder race will be interesting. Sonia just pinged me actually, just a reminder that the coordinators will give out the class win trophies from last meeting. Basically, we got sent the wrong trophies at the last meeting, so we're going to hand out last meetings and this meeting. So the coordinators will be doing that. So we'll organise that probably Saturday at some point.
Fabulous. Thank you to Andrew Outerside for sending those the bits of information on the finals and the briefing. The finals are online. I think
they'll be online tomorrow. See, Bark hadn't updated them. They'll be online tomorrow. I know they will,
and that includes the driver's briefing document will be on as well. Yeah, so thank you for that, and bless you, Andrew Outerside. Thank you for sending that through. A very good friend of mine from when he was at racing in the Caterham Graduates and what have you, and I used to do a lot of stuff with those guys as well, which is nice. And he's a good guy in Tower for you. Is Mr. Outerside. Moving forward, the one after Cadwell, that's Mallory, isn't it?
Yeah. So Mallory Park is quite quick after. Actually, I looked at the. When you lay out the calendar, you kind of try and space things out the best you can, but it's quite quick afterwards. It's only about 3 weekends, I think.
It's scrolling at the bottom now. Look at that, as if by magic.
It's scrolling at the bottom. Look at that. Are we going to try something different at Mallory? We are going to try the sliding scale with race entries. It seems to be the trend at the moment. A lot of clubs are doing this. There's a base fee set for a certain amount of cars, and then over that number of cars, the price comes down, and everybody gets a rebate or money off their race entry. So we're going to do that. So it's known as Operation Mallory, and we're going to try that. We're going to test it and see how we get on, and see if that works, and whether we can carry on doing it forwards. Because ultimately the money's there. The club's, run by the drivers for the drivers, and we just want to make sure it's keep it as cost effective as we possibly can. And as it turns out, this year seems to be a lot busier than we'd imagined, and we seem to be a lot busier than a lot of other clubs actually. And long may that last. So yeah, we're going to try that. So we're going to do the sliding scale. I'm going to send an email out on Monday explaining the number of cars we need, and then anything over that, the price will come down. You'll pay the base price, and then whatever's over that, so let's say it's, I don't know, 20 quid a car or something like that, or the base price is 500. It's not 500, but let's say the base price is 300, and we get a certain amount of cars, it goes down to 200 to 280. Everybody gets £20 credited to their account, which they can use against future race events or pull out of their Bark account if they want to, right? So we use it like a cash store, so you'll get some money back. We did look at doing deposits and all this business, but it's just because the clubs are big, it's just difficult to manage that amount of money, that amount of deposits. It's just, the overhead's crazy. So the best thing to do was take the money, and then we'll explain it all in the email, and then the drivers will get a refund back to their Bark account to use against the future race, or they can just draw down and take the money back and have some extra cash. So
sweet.
It makes us extremely competitive, and probably one of the most competitive clubs financially, if it works out how I plan it to work out. So we'll see how that goes.
No, that's sweet. I'm gutted that I'm missing that actually. Mallory Park is the. I'd have liked to see you guys down there. Where am I? I think I'm doing GT Cup and what have you at Brands that weekend. So
in the pod stuff, haven't you?
Well, I get Paul Pillar to post, and I think it was just trying to sort of get the balance. And sadly, I'm missing you. And do you know that I've still not even commentated at Mallory Park? How weird's that? I've just not. No, because they don't do that many there anymore, do they? Sadly, but
no, that was the problem. I think last time we were there, sadly, we weren't there. We were at Goodwood because they'd moved it because of COVID. They did the members meeting in October, so we'd all paid our money, so we all did the members meeting. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But and so we weren't there, but there was some problems with sound and that. But this time, what we've done is run, the thunder and the louder stuff, shall we say, either side of lunch break. So to try and, because it's always, the sound is always measured over an hour, isn't it? So if we run the thunder race before lunch or after lunch or whatever, then
you've got the gap.
You've made all your noise in your hour, and you're okay. So that's what. So the timetable, as I was saying to Nick. So basically, we try and always do it. So like Thunder was last at Donington, they're first at Cadwell. So it just goes down it should go, but it will be different at Mallory because of this.
Got you. Fair
because of the noise. We just got to manage the noise. You just got to manage it. It's like everything in life. You just got to manage it and do it properly, rather than just kind of bunging it all in and hoping for the best. So
yeah, no, it makes sense. Jamie Peters Ennis says he did his ARDS test at Mallory. Great little circuit. It's a shame there are not more meetings there. Yeah, I know what you mean. Nick, I'm not putting your message up on screen, but he's noisy something or others, he said there. There's probably a couple of questions I think that I just missed that are coming up regards to or comments or questions about the finances. You can have a look at that later. The other one we were going to touch on, which we will obviously be, and I am back with you for this Brands Hatch for the Super Tourer, the Super Touring Power meeting, and Group A. Did I hear about?
Yeah, so we've got the addition of a Group A race there. We've MSVR asked us to, after the success of the Super Tourers, to move on to Group A as well. Wow. And so we have a Group A race there. So if you have a Group A car or people that are interested in a Group A race, then please get in contact, and we'll see what we can do for you. Basically, there is a dedicated race certainly on Sunday for that. And yeah, you know, there's a lot of cars already in there. There's a lot of Sierra, a lot of RS 500, should I say? And obviously, you've seen the thing. Steve Soper's out in a BMW,
Yes,
Ether M3, period M3 car, and he's out in the Super Tour as well. So we've got quite a lot of M3s and RS 500s coming, but would like anything Group A that will be eligible. We're running a class structure so that everybody gets treated in the right fashion, rather than some cars that are slower that might be at the back or whatever. We're running it as period. And yeah, you know, it's all right. You know, the Super Tour of Power has gone crazy. I was looking at it today, and it was something like it's 140. We don't say it was 145 cars that are booked in or something. Or it's just bonkers how many cars
wow.
are there already. They've paid the £100 deposit, and I should say you have to pay the £100 deposit. It doesn't matter who you are. You have to pay the £100 deposit, because with the price, which is 695, is obviously on the Bark system is 595. So that's what you pay, is a 595, because you've already paid the 100, and there's no other way around it. You have to pay that 100, regardless of any of the other stuff. So you have to fill the form in and pay the 100. So even my good self. So I suggest that people do that quickly, because again, you know, last year I had grown men crying on the phone to me because they couldn't get into that meeting, and this year it's still April. I mean, it's still cold outside. I have my big coat on today. I don't know about you. You know what I mean? I have my big coat on, walking to the station, and before you know it, it's going to be the end of June, and we're going to be all standing at Super Tour of Power talking about bacon sandwiches.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you need to do it. I mean, you're going to miss out. There's no two ways about it. You're going to miss out.
Well, definitely let's get this stuff sorted, because it's already sounding like it's on the verge of being full, and I can't wait for that. It's going to be wicked. I should be going all out entertainment up in the commentary box for that weekend as well. It'll be wicked fun. Jamie Peters Ennis says Group A race would be sensational. I remember watching them as a kid in the 80s. Would be mega for some of the period drivers to come back for this as well. You never know. We
do have Andy Rouse has confirmed that it'll be at the meeting. I don't even know if he's racing, but it will definitely be at the race meeting.
Cool.
And as I say, Steve Soper will be there, and a number of other celebrity drivers will be there racing. Sweet. Jake Hill, I know that Richard Wheeler's got Jake Hill again in his car. So yeah, it'd be cool. It's cool. It's the coolest event of the summer. You know that. I know that. It doesn't matter. I could be arrogant for once or twice. Yeah.
No, I love the sound of that. And you got to have your autograph stuff ready again. That would be great fun. Anything else that we need to cover for Cadwell Park this weekend? Anything else that people need to be aware of?
No, I'm done. Sonia just pinged me. Let me just see if she's asking me to say anything. Oh no, that's Andrew's pinged me and said that he's got a clash of grid. So we'll sort that out in a minute. No, there's nothing. I mean, one other thing. There was just another thing. I noticed some people getting a little fruity on social media. Just a piece, just to remind you that just don't do it, please. Just don't. We have strict social media rules in the club. It could result in you not being allowed to race. You know, just don't do it, please. It's not nice. Don't do it.
Play nice. Yeah. That was fruity in a negative way you meant there, wasn't it?
Fruity.
Yeah, because there's fruity and then there's fruity. But yeah, come on. Play nice, guys. Play nice. Definitely do that. Craig Owen says the Mondeo will be there along with Bluey. That's at Brands Hatch. Glad to hear it, and hopefully you'll get better luck this time, guys. That was so unfortunate with the Mondeo, but hopefully we'll get that one sorted for you guys. Well, Big Dog, I mean, it just leaves us to get excited now about this weekend. I shall have the long drive up on Friday. That'll be out of the system, ready to go for 2 days of epic entertainment, and I cannot wait.
Okay, it'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. It's good, and if you haven't got a ticket, please come along, get a ticket on the gate, and come and watch the greatest club, the greatest circuit.
Absolutely. Stu, I shall see you there, mate.
Tell them, mate.
Everybody else, thank you for joining us. We'll see you at Cadwell Park. Cheers all.
Bye-bye.